thank you very much for coming to our final set-piece press conference for the fights at Upton Park on Saturday night. David Haye against Dereck Chisora. Before we speak to anybody, I should introduce everybody who's actually here on the main table, going from left to right. At the far left there is Paco Valcarcel, who's president of the WBO. Alongside him is Dereck Chisora's trainer, Don Charles, and then involved in his management, of course, Francis Warren, Dereck Chisora himself, and Frank Warren. On this side, from the right, we have Bruce Baker of the Luxembourg Federation, Adam Booth, who's David's trainer, and David himself. Now, this is going to be a massive fight for this country, for boxing fans, and particularly for Box Nation. The number of tickets that have been sold at the moment are in the region of 29,000. There are tickets on Saturday night that are still available. The number's up there behind me, but in case you need reminding, it's 0844 249 1000. And so far as actually watching the show live on Box Nation, we do urge people to book early, get onto boxnation.com, register and enjoy what is going to be one of the big boxing events of the year. We've had Carl Froch against Lucien Boutte, we've had Kell Brooks, we've had Amir Khan, we've had Nathan Cleverly against Tony Bellew, we've had the events involving Tyson Fury. I think you could add all the tickets that have been sold for those fights, put them together, and it would be less than the number who've already bought tickets for Saturday night's event. On two other things, on Saturday there's been a bit of controversy about the referee. Luis Pavon of Puerto Rico is going to be the referee. Master of ceremonies, you won't have to put up with me, you'll have the inimitable Michael Buffer. Now, it is, as I say, going to be a huge event, and I think, first of all, before you hear from the two fighters, maybe a word from Frank, just setting it up. You know, I mean, how long have you been promoting now, Frank? 30 years or thereabouts?
30 years, and I've promoted controversial fights in the past and been involved in controversial fights, and that's Derek's manager here. I can't think of such a fast-selling fight and a fight involving so much publicity since we brought Mike Tyson over back about 10 years ago. This is without doubt, it's captured the public's imagination. People have got their views why that's the case. This is always a good fight. What happened in Germany happened, and obviously it's added to the fight, maybe added some, people may feel added some so-called spice to it. But the fact of life is, on paper, this is always a good fight. You know, Dereck Chisora's fighting Germany, he fought superbly. You know, a guy went into that fight, I think it was his 18th fight, and the experience he had, and gave Vitaly Klitschko probably his hardest fight he's had since Lennox Lewis. And unfortunately, the events that unfolded in Germany took that away from what he did in the fight. But the facts of the matter are that Dereck Chisora is a good fighter. He deserved to be up there amongst the best, and with more and more experience, I'm convinced he could become a world champion. David Haye's done it at two levels. Cruiserweight, he's fought against one of my guys in the past, Enzo Macronelli, and done a job on him, there's no doubt about that. Came to fight that night, and at cruiserweight was the most dominant cruiserweight out there. At heavyweight, for me, this is a different ball game. You know, I look at the fights that he's had, and I look at John Ruiz. I think the past his sell-by date. Valuev really didn't impress me that much, and I'm not being disrespectful towards him. And when he fought Klitschko, that showed me what I needed to know to allow Dereck to fight him. You know, he's in with a guy who's got a great chin. You know, David Haye's got great speed. He's a great puncher. He's got power in his punches. But he doesn't punch harder than Vitaly Klitschko, in my opinion. And Dereck took that punch from Klitschko, took his best, and actually won the last round of that fight. And it's certainly debatable whether he punches as hard as Helenius, who caught Dereck with a tremendous shot in the first round. So I don't see, you know, from my point of view, well, that's going to be the outcome of the fight. David knocking out Dereck. I think it's going to be the other way around. I think Derek's going to pressure him. I think he's going to be throwing lots of shots. I think he's going to give him the toughest fight he's ever been involved in, and I really feel that Dereck will end this fight in 4 time. I don't think we're going to need the judges. I think that the referee, Mr. Pavon, at the end of the day, will be holding up Dereck's hands. Obviously, David and his camp will see it differently. We all have opinions, but I really, in my experience in boxing, believe this is the fight that Dereck Chisora is going to win. I really think he's the only winner here. Just before we get on to anybody else, I'd just also like to thank people who got involved in this. You know, the Sun are sponsoring this fight. We've got behind it in a big way. We'd like to thank Raynham Steel, Bill Eyes from Raynham Steel for all he's done. Obviously Eventon, Nuts, the magazine who got behind it, Rockstar and West Ham, and obviously Box Nation who are broadcasting it. And I think, as John just said about getting online early to buy this fight, the reason is we do not feel that they will be able to cope with the traffic, the people buying and trying to subscribe on the night. Such has been the interest in this fight. So if you want to buy it early. Not only will you be ensured of seeing the fight, more importantly, you'll get it cheaper because it's going to be more expensive on Saturday. It could be between 20 to 30 quid depending when you buy it. So buy it early, save yourself some money, and ensure that you can watch a fight that I think is going to be one of the most exciting fights in this country that we've seen for many, many years.
Before we throw it open to the floor, which of course we will do, you've heard in fairly eloquent terms how Frank feels that's going to go, and he would say that, I guess David will say. Tell us how your preparations have gone, David, and how you respond to what you've just heard from Frank.
Yeah, Frank said exactly what I anticipated him to say. Dereck's his boy, so he's got to back him. He's made this fight because he truly believes he can win, and you know, he's made an argument for why he can win. You know, he said that Chisora did better against Vitali than I did against Vladimir. Is that how fights work out? I don't think so. But my training's gone good. I'm feeling healthy, fit, fast. In the lead up to many fights, certain things happen in training camp where you have to adjust. You might have an injury where you have to then do a different type of training. Whereas this particular training camp, I think it's probably one of the first ones I've had. Every target we've set, at the beginning of every training camp, we say, okay, we want to do X amount of sparring, we want to do this many runs, we want to do this much weight training, we want to do this much speed work, this much plyometric work, and you never do all the sessions. That's just in an ideal world. This is what we're aiming at. But for the first time ever, I've been able to do all of those sessions because nothing's broken down in training for me to substitute, say, a run-in for a Versa-climber session or a weight training for something else, or changing things around. And it's a situation I haven't been in before, and I can feel the difference. My sparring partners have felt the difference. Adam's felt it on the pads. You know the numbers, the scores that I'm getting, the punch volume, the punch power, everything's as good as it can be. So unfortunately for Dereck, he's fighting me. He's fighting the best. I believe you will see the best ever haymaker on Saturday night. I've never had a preparation that's gone as smooth as this. I'll probably say the only other preparation that went as smooth as this would probably be as far back as when I fought Enzo Macronelli. When I had the fight against Mormeg, I went straight back into the gym literally a few days afterwards and carried on. So I think it was like about a 5-month period where I was training consistently, and I didn't have any injuries, and you could see in my physical condition how ripe I was for the fight, and you saw the result of that particular fight. And I believe you're going to get something similar this time round. Dereck's going to come out and try and do what he normally does, but he's going to find out very, very, very quick that it's not going to work.
Are you going to give us a prediction, David?
He's getting knocked out quick. When we first started training, myself and Adam, we believed that going to the second half of the fight. We really did. We really thought, with his particular style, what he does, it will get into the second part of the fight, then we really have to push it down the home straight. But I'll be really surprised. I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping that is the case. But if he does what I'm hoping he's going to do, then it's just going to work into my hands more, and the harder he comes, the quicker he gets KO'd, and I'm looking forward to it.
Right, well, throw it across to Dereck then. You've sitting there quietly listening to that, Del Boy. What do you make of what you've just heard there? What sort of fight, what sort of condition are you in, and what sort of fight do you expect?
First of all, I have to say thank you guys for coming down. Giving us all this promotion. I'm excited about the fight. David Haye says the best haymaker is going to come in the ring, and that's great for me, because I'm going to be the craziest I ever come in the ring anyway, so I don't care. And, my preparation been going very well. I'm pushing around. I pushed the rounds in. My last sparring is tomorrow. I'm excited about it. Everything went well for me. I didn't have no injuries. But the fight is here now, and the show must go on. Me and Dave are going to give the fans a great fight. I've always been a forward fighter. David's always been a back paddler, so nothing's going to change. David is not going to come forward. I'm always going to be pushing him, so it's going to be a great fight.
And prediction from you, Derek?
Great fight. What about that? Great fight.
Okay, that's good. So we throw it open to the floor, I think. We've got a microphone.
Just before we do that, I'd like to thank the Luxembourg Federation and also the WBO President, Senor Marcus Sell, for all their support, and the WBA who sanctioned this fight. Contrary to what's being said in the Davis, it is for titles. It's not a non-title fight. It's not an unlicensed fight. It's licensed, and it's going on. And the weather's going to be good Saturday night. Look at the weather forecast. You're not going to need your brollies. Long distance weather forecast. The sun's going to shine down on us.
That's not wrong. We can't hear you.
Switch it on.
Talk louder.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I was just
Hear me now.
asking, I imagine you think you're going to win on Saturday.
I don't think I know. I know I'm going to win.
How do you think the win will add to your legacy as a boxer?
I'm not sure if it would add to my legacy. I don't think in 50 years' time, when people look back at my career, they'll see this fight and think, oh, bloody hell, that Dereck Chisora was a great fighter and look what he did to him. No, I think it's a fight for now. It's a fight simply because I beat him at a press conference a few months ago, and people, that's the way. It's a bit of hype. It's a bit of publicity. People were interested in it now. But after I knock him out, he'll go back to where he was before I knocked him out in Munich, and before I knocked him out in Upton Park. He'd go back to being a nobody. So no, it won't do anything for my legacy, to answer your question.
Dan Jude, FHF, question for David. Do you regret the way that this fight has come about with what happened in Munich?
No.
Can you expand on that a little bit?
No. I asked that question I'll Google it. Someone's asked me that question about 20 times in the last time I did a press conference. You're bored of asking that one?
This question for Adam Booth. I've heard you say in the past, Adam, that the most favourable style for David to go up against is sort of a tall stand-up fighter. And obviously, style-wise, Derek's probably most similar to John Mormet, David's opponents. What did you learn in the Mormet fight that makes you obviously confident of winning this one, but did you learn things in that fight that you can put into practice in this one?
It's not that we learned anything from that fight. It's the fact that David experienced doing it for the first time against someone that tries to get under his punches, get close to him, or work him up close. So it was the experience of having been in a fight at that level against the world champions, rather than did we learn anything? No, except for the fact that we learned that David could step in there and adapt and adjust, and that was the first fight under real pressure that he was able to adapt his style, and he's been able to adapt his style ever since.
The difference is Mormet was a cruiserweight. Derek's a heavyweight.
And Mormet was a light heavyweight, if you want to be factual, Frank. He was light heavyweight.
Thank you for correcting me. We've got a natural heavyweight here who's got a good chin. Got a good chin. Probably got one of the best chins in the business. And he's young. He's not an old man, I think.
Frank. Why don't we just make it a fight where we test chins then, and they both come out with their hands down by their waist, don't protect the chins, and then just see who's got the better chin.
Well,
Simple.
That's up to them if they want to do that.
Don't cover your face. That's the way to test it.
Don't hide behind your hands. Come down, hands down, chin up in the air, and let's see who's got the best chin.
You know what, David? You do you, I do me. You don't worry about it,
You
man.
go, hiding behind your hands.
Don't worry about it.
Because you've got a great
you do
chin.
you and I do me. You know, other way, you know you're gonna be in the fight, so it don't matter. You know, you can all hype up. It don't matter. I don't care. You know, the deal is done. You know, I was about to go crazy on you. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter. I don't care what you look
Like you did in Germany, yeah? You're real crazy.
It don't matter. You know what, David?
It does matter.
Look at you right now. How many boys you got there? How many ball stacks you got there right now? Let's count. Well, you all need them to protect you, don't you?
Enough to stop me doing a reenactment of what happened in Germany.
It don't matter, David. Don't
Yeah, it
worry
does.
about it. It's fine. I'll see you in the ring, and I'll show you what time it is. You know, this is all games.
already know- we know what time it
Game
is. We know what
game
time it
times
is.
are over. You know, the fight is here now, and the fight is gonna happen. You know, you remember what Rose about? How many guys you got there?
Enough
Like
to stop
10
me doing
guys.
what happened last time.
And I wrote here on my own. You know, it tells you something about me.
Let's test
know.
these chins. Let's test each other's chins out. How about
Oh, we'll test each other's chins.
Test
Don't
each
worry
other's
about it.
chins.
I'll test your chin. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry. Just bring
You
it.
know, it don't matter. You know, just come, let's fight. We go for it. You know, I don't mind. You know, I love fighting, so it don't matter. You do you, I do me. Good? We good? Look at me. Hey, pretty boy, look at me.
Why?
Pretty boy, look at me. Look at me. David,
You've been looking down my fist.
David, look at
been
me.
looking
Show me your
down my
fist,
fist.
David. David, show me your fist.
That's all you've been
Now
looking
look
at.
at me
That's
as
all you
well.
got to look at.
Look at me.
These.
Look
That's
at
all
me,
you'll be
David.
seeing Saturday
David, look
night.
at me.
That's all you'll be seeing Saturday night.
David,
Then the
look at
referee
me.
going 8, 9, 10. That's it. That's the only thing you'll be seeing Saturday night.
Don't he sound
8,
nervous?
9, 10.
You sound
8,
very nervous,
9,
don't you?
10.
You
Nervous
sound
about
very
what?
nervous,
What the hell have
David.
you ever done for me to be nervous? By losing. I've knocked you out already. I'll knock you out again, and you lost your last 3 fights. Why should I be nervous?
So we'll
what have
find
you
out
got?
then, innit?
What have you done? What have you
Find
done?
out.
Ever? What have you ever
We'll
done?
Find out. It
Yeah,
don't
we will
matter.
find out. You just get
Fight is on.
exposed again. You lost the British level, European level, world level, and you lost in a street fight. What more do you have to do? Would you play some
It don't
basketball? What
matter,
would you do?
David.
Go
It
again,
don't
football?
matter.
What?
It
How many
don't
more
matter.
different ways
It
do I have
don't
to
matter,
do?
David. Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't
you know,
matter,
you
exactly.
You landed a nice shot, but you know what? I was up back on
It was
my
a
feet. It wasn't
back
a
on your
knockout.
feet, staggering around. He classed me. He classed me. Yeah. That's how you was. I remember that.
And what did you
That's
do
the-
there? What did you have in your hand?
Nothing in my hand. I had a
Yeah.
fist.
Oh, then David,
Yeah.
don't get me upset now.
Oh, because you might get knocked out again in front of me. Yeah.
Do you think so?
Well, we see Saturday night. How about that? Check that out.
Oh, cool. We'll see Saturday night.
See it Saturday night.
Oh, we'll see.
Yeah.
What round you reckon?
1 or 2 now.
1 or 2? Ah, cool. We'll see. I think by round 4 you'll be blowing out your backside.
Yeah. Keep banking on that, bitch.
Yeah? It's
Yeah.
alright. You don't need to swear, man. It's fine. It's alright. You don't have to swear, you know. It's on. The fight is on. I'm chilled. You know.
Yeah.
The fight is on. Don't worry. I'm happy. Any questions?
Yeah, hi. Question about
On the management course.
Yeah, I have. I took my medication before I came here, so that's why I'm more chilled right now. So only if I don't take my medication, shit might start happening right now.
Was it performance enhancing medication?
Whatever you call it, man. What is it?
I don't know.
What are you saying that to me for?
No, because you said you're taking medication.
Yeah, make sure you check it out before you start taking
Hey,
it.
listen, I'll do a drug test, you know, it don't matter. I'll do it.
Let me just tell you something.
There's a drug test. I will do the drug test. I'm so excited about it. I will do the drug test. Is there anything you want to add to that, Adam?
No, thank you. That's fine.
This is not the Tour de France.
Yeah, the fighters will be tested. Actually, that is, in all seriousness, that is a bit of a discussion point at the moment in boxing. We've had some high-profile problems with drug testing. The company called Professional Worldwide Controls, which is a WADA-affiliated company based in Germany, will be doing the drug testing for this fight. So, rest assured, that is not going to be an issue.
I'll just say something as well. I'm glad that this matter's come up because Derek and David are prepared, to do whatever tests needed. Blood tests. Whatever. You did a blood test, didn't you?
Yeah, blood test.
Did a blood test as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing blood tests, and blood tests are the only real way that these cheats can be exposed. And so I'm calling upon all the champions in the world the Klitschko brothers, everybody, to do blood tests to prove that everyone is clean so that we can start cleaning up this mess in the sport. We don't need cheats, we need fighters. That's what we need. So kudos to any fighter and any champion who does a blood test as a drugs test, not a urine one.
Does that mean unannounced as well? On the spot?
Well, they're a voluntary test as well.
We've got one about 3 days.
David did one 3 days ago.
Did one 3 days ago, because as a professional boxer, you're entitled to get randomly tested, like I have been in the lead up about 3 or 4 days ago. Got blood and urine test.
But it's blood tests. Got to agree to complete blood testing to prove 100% categorically that you haven't got any masking agents in your body. So I'm just calling on all the champions, from the Klitschkos down to the light flyweights, to prove their point.
More questions? Question. Are both boxers, question for both boxers really. Are you both of you guys 110% fit for this going into this fight? No minor injuries going into it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, question for David. After you win on Saturday, who do you see your next opponent?
I'm not thinking past Saturday night, to be honest. I'm just focusing 100% on that. Yeah, just focusing on doing a job and moving on.
Sorry, can we just make sure these announcers now, these questions are come from the press only. It's a press conference, not a cheerleaders concert.
I ain't see no cheerleaders in there, I'll tell you that now.
Any more questions?
Hi, I've got one more
A
question.
question to both fighters. In Germany, there's a major interest in this fight, even when it's only in thinking. But all the pictures from this press conference in Munich, perhaps you can remember, are played now from all the sports channels 4 days already. My question to both fighters: do you regret what happened there?
I regret, saying I'm going to shoot David. That's the only thing I regret. Do I regret him hitting me with a sucker punch? No. Fair dues. But the fight's on now. I don't care. Let's get it on.
David?
No, I don't regret anything. I was defending myself like anyone should. We've got a lot of fans out in Germany. And got an interesting statistic that
No, you're lying. You don't have so many fans in Germany.
when
Don't lie to yourself.
Klitschko,
Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. You haven't got many fans in Germany. Don't worry about that.
Anyway, okay. When Vladimir Klitschko fought Thompson on a Saturday night, they got 8 million views. When I fought Vladimir a year before that on the same weekend, we got 16 million views. So that shows.
No, you know why you got 60 million views? Because it's your big mouth. That's why. It's not like.
Well, regardless, it was twice as many views.
It's fine. Now the public. I don't think the public will buy your nonsense.
Well, they bought it this time round for you, didn't they?
Oh, did they? Oh, I don't think so. You're a hype.
Look how many people are here.
You're a hype.
When they come to see you,
I don't know.
crazy.
It don't matter. As long as they come to see you, it's fine with me. When I'm here.
David, in the last question, you suspended your retirement for this fight here. When you're winning the fight, are you going back to retirement or to
I'll have to think about that after the fight. I'm not really thinking about anything other than Saturday's execution, to be honest.
Let me tell you, the biggest fight out there after this, Derek comes through this fight, the biggest fight here in the UK would be Vladimir Klitschko against Derek. That's the biggest fight in boxing, in heavyweight boxing, for lots of different reasons. Derek comes through this fight, as I like to see him come through, that is the big fight.
Don't book the venue, Frank. Frank, don't book that venue.
Well, I'm an optimist. I'm an optimist by nature. But that is the fight. That's the fight that will get this one out of the way. That's what the direction we're going.
Hi, I've got a question for Derek. I'm John from Southerfields. Do you see Saturday as an opportunity for you to start talking about Dereck Chisora the fighter rather than Dereck Chisora the character?
It don't matter, man. As long as they say Dereck Chisora, it's fine with me.
Did they think that you grab people when your name's brought up, they start talking about you and your performances in the ring rather than the nonsense that goes around it? Would you rather just switch that situation around?
You know, the situation will be twisted around anyway. You know, people are going to remember me about the bad stuff and the good stuff. So, you know, it don't really matter. So, that's it. You know, that's what I can say about that situation. It don't really matter. You know, as long as they talk about me, the bad stuff and the good stuff.
One more question, sir.
Go on.
Why was it significant to be wearing the Union Jack bandana?
I feel like John Wayne. I go crazy when I got this on, man. Fuck with me, man.
You know, sorry, you talk about Dereck, you know, you asked a question about Dereck. Everybody forgets he's had 18 fights. In those 18 fights, he's fought all these title fights. Not a lot of experience, got robbed, blatantly robbed. Even Adam said that to me when we were talking. He's robbed against Robert Alanius. That was a dreadful decision. Who's now ranked #1 in the world. And Klitschko gave him his best fight. Bit more experience, I think he would have beaten Vitali. And those last three fights, those 3 fights he's had for me mean more for him coming into this fight than anything. Because they are rounds and experience in the bank. And that's what he needed. He could have had another 10 fights, knocking 10 guys over, but he will learn more out of being in the ring with Vitali, Klitschko and Alanius than me bringing in guys for him to fight lesser opponents. And that's what he's going to bring into the ring. The experience. We've seen a lot of questions answered in those fights. Dereck can do 12 rounds. He's got a great chin. He was caught with big shots in both those fights, and he's got a tremendous work rate. He got robbed in one, as I said. That's what he's bringing to the table. That's what he's taking to David Haye. That's what David Haye's going to have on his plate on Saturday night. And I think it's going to be really interesting as a fight fan to see how David deals with that, because I don't think David can fight Dereck like he's fought his other guys off the back foot, because that's Dereck's fight. And it's going to be interesting to see how he deals with that. And if he does what he did against Enzo Macronelli, when he trained as hard and came in as well as came in as best condition he could, as he said he has for this fight, then the fans are going to be in for a treat, because that's going to be war from the first bell. War from the first bell, and that's what everybody's expected to see.
Frank, no, it's Adam Booth here from Haymaker Boxing.
Not a member of the press. Not a member of the press.
Forget it. I can't even bother saying what I was going to say. That was good enough.
I've got it.
James Holder from Market in London. Dereck, what do you think of the latest achievements in boxing so far? Do you rate them?
No, yeah, I do rate David. You know, coming from unified cruiserweight titles, stepping up to the heavyweight game. You know, boxing some of the heavyweight guys. Enough props to that. You know, you have to give the children when it's needed. You know, I'm not a hater. You know, give a shout out to David for that. You know, he done well for himself, so give a shout out to him.
Finally, how explosive do you think the early rounds are going to be so far?
You know, I was boxing a great tempo. My explosion is going to be the same from round 1 to whenever the round is ending. You know, it's all about if you can keep up with the pace.
Are there any more questions?
Right, that appears to be about it, unless anybody else has got anything to say on the top table for the time being. We'll do one-on-one interview.